The following is a Just Green production.
Good job.
Take two. Hello, everyone. It's the week of February 3rd, 2018. My name is Taylor Cooper, and this might be news to you. What up, everybody? Week 4 of Season 3. Follow us on Twitter at MightBeNews247. That's MightBeNews247. It's the Super Bowl Spectacular.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Man.
We're here. It's currently the Saturday before the Super Bowl, so this is all old news, whatever, but we're really excited about the fucking game. With me, as always, co-host Kev. Say what up, co-host Kev.
Yo, I feel like I'm going through deja vu now.
Deja vu.
Oh.
What up, co-host Danny?
What's up?
All right, we got a special guest this week. We had him on last season. We're going to have him on again. Author Kevin Reevey. Say what up, Kevin Reevey.
Season's greetings.
Wow. I can't believe that we have a sports writer on our show. If you don't know Kevin Reevey, he is the author of Incredible Baseball Stats and This Day in Philadelphia Sports. Who's your partner that writes with you?
Ryan Spader is my co-author for the baseball book, and Brian Startari for the This Day in Philadelphia Sports book.
Awesome.
And Ryan Spader, he's my current writing partner for the next baseball book we'll do at some point. We can't talk about it because someone will steal the idea and make hundreds of dollars off of it.
Well, I opened my copy of This Day in Philadelphia Sports this morning, and just a fun fact to share with you guys before we do the good news. Today it talked about how this year in 1976 they did all of the All-Star games for every sport in Philadelphia for the bicentennial.
Really?
It's cool.
That's pretty cool.
And that's fun.
Here comes. We're gonna do some. We're gonna do some good news real quick.
That bothers me a little bit because there hasn't been one in Philadelphia for a long time, and it really bothers me specifically because in 1996, I was a wee lad, and my parents wouldn't let me stay over Mike Norris's house, and he had tickets to the freaking what's it called, the Fan Fest thing.
Oh yeah.
But, no, I had to go down the shore with my parents and swim in the above ground pool and have quote I'm making air quotes fun while I missed the Fan Fest and the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby and the good things you remember in life, not the above ground pool bullshit. Yeah, so 1996. It's like 2018. I think it's time to have an All-Star game in Philadelphia again.
I agree. We'll talk more about that. We're going to do some good news. We missed it last week, but we got some this week. Here we go.
Hey, did you hear the news?
This better be good.
Want the good news or the bad news?
Give me the good stuff.
This better be good. I've fucked up the show like 5 times already. You guys won't hear it, but I have heard it, and I have fucked up.
Oh, we heard it too.
That's the good news, is that you guys don't necessarily have to hear all the times I fuck up during the show. Danny, you have actual good news.
I do. I have a few good stories.
What do we got?
So the first one's coming out of Dallas. This happened beginning of January. There was a middle school that was planning a breakfast with dads, and they were worried that not too many dads would show up because of, one, some kids don't have dads present in their life,
Right.
or two, that the dads were working. So they put out this message on social media saying, hey, we need like 30, 40 dads to show up to, fill in and just talk to these kids and have donuts with them. Well, they got more than they were expecting. They had 600 dads show up to this middle school for a breakfast with dads event.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool to see the community come together and really show up when they needed to.
That's great.
My next story is...
Wait, they were Dallas dads?
They were Dallas dads.
So like not high quality dads.
There
was high quantity.
High quantity, not
necessarily
quality.
Yeah, just making that.
So that's okay news. That's not good news.
Just saying.
Más o
Moving
menos.
Yes. On January 22nd, musician Neil Diamond announced that he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and as a result, he plans to retire from touring. On his doctor's orders, he had to give it up. It is with great reluctance and disappointment that I announce my retirement from concert touring, Diamond said in a statement published on his website. I've been so honored to bring my shows to the public for the past 50 years. My sincerest apologies to everyone who purchased tickets and were planning to come to the upcoming shows. So he announced that he was not going to be touring anymore, and he was expecting to get a backlash from people like, hey, I bought tickets, I don't want a refund anymore. Well, what he didn't know was that the majority of these people that bought tickets, when they got their refund, they started donating that money to the Parkinson's research in his name.
Wow.
So his fans really pulled through when he needed them to.
That's awesome.
My next story is about the hurricane relief. A hurricane relief effort led by former U.S. presidents that included a Texas concert with rock stars Lady Gaga has raised more than $41 million. A statement Wednesday from One American Appeal says the money benefited the hurricane's recovery in Texas, Florida, and Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Spokesman Jim McGrath says more than 110,000 donors gave $41.3 million to the hurricane relief efforts. And the past U.S. presidents that were involved with this were former presidents Jimmy Carter, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama. Donations went to a special account through the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library Foundation.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
$41.3 million by our former presidents.
It's huge. It's big time. I have one more little good news story, and it's Super Bowl related. It'll kick off our Super Bowl spectacular. Earlier this year, I don't remember what game it was, but it was one of the Eagles' primetime, games they had on this year. I think it was a Monday Night Football somewhere in there. They did a story about this kid, Lucas Custers, called the Dutch Destroyer.
Yeah, this was the AO1 Foundation that kind of teamed up with him, with Carson Wentz.
Right. He had some sort of cancer and ended up meeting Carson Wentz and other members of the Eagles. Long story short, go find the video of it. It's guaranteed to make you feel something. But Carson Wentz wears his bracelet, this kid's bracelet for his charity or whatever. The Dutch Destroyer is what he says.
Yeah,
anyway,
so Carson Wentz sent a message to him, like, hey, we're thinking about you. And he started going downhill, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation reached out to him and said, hey, your last wish, what do you want to do? And he didn't want to go to Disney World. He didn't want to go anywhere else. The only thing he wanted to do was thank Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
That's it. Just thank him.
It's an awesome story. I recommend looking it up. But the good news aspect of this is that they're going to the Super Bowl.
That's awesome.
They went to the Super Bowl.
That's awesome.
Like I said, we're in the future right now. Or in the past. I don't know, whatever.
They won the Super Bowl.
God, I hope they win the Super Bowl. I fucking hope they win the Super Bowl. I'm so excited for this game. I know that we're all sports people here. Kevin, you're not necessarily a football fan, but you're a big sports guy.
I'm a Philadelphia fan in general. I
Right.
mean, I'm excited for the city of Philadelphia to possibly have a Super Bowl win. I mean, regardless of across the board, Philadelphia brings home a championship. That's a good thing.
Yeah, you're all about it.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
That's what's up. What? Well, I got some things to talk about here, Super Bowl related, football related. Again, if you're not a football fan, this episode might not be for you, but fuck it. We got a sports writer here. I want to talk some sports. What's your favorite Super Bowl? Like, is there one game that sticks out to you? Like, is there one game in particular that just you will always remember that game?
I would say for me, it would have to be Ray Lewis finally getting his ring when the Ravens won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I mean, I can't say the 2004 Super Bowl because obviously the Eagles lost to the Patriots then.
Right.
But regardless of Ray Lewis's past, what he did, if he did or if he didn't do it, I've always been a huge fan of defense. My favorite defensive players, number one is Brian Dawkins, Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis. So to see him finally get his ring, that was You know, that was big for me. I liked him.
Yeah, that's a good one. Kevin Reevey, what do you think?
All right, I have a 3-pronged answer to this one.
Okay.
All right, so the one I had the most fun at was 2 seasons ago, the Panthers versus the Broncos. That was a great one. The Broncos blew out the Panthers, but I got so drunk and had so much fun. That was an amazing Super Bowl. And I was rooting for the Broncos. It worked out for me. And one of my good friends from North Carolina, he was hosting the party.
Oh,
And he was so looking forward to the Panthers winning. And it was hilarious to watch it not go his way.
oh, I bet.
So that was fun. But actually, if I'm going to bookend that Super Bowl, I would say the year before, that was a great one. The ending was unbelievable. I mean, the Super Bowl 20, or I'm sorry, not 29, 50, 49, somewhere around there, I think. The Seahawks against the Patriots. That was
was a good one.
amazing. The interception in the end zone, unbelievable.
Why do you not run the ball with Marshawn Lynch on the 1 yard line?
That will be forever a good question.
That's why
Retarded.
Yeah.
that's got to be number one in my mind for the ending. Last year was intense. That was also very good, but an unexpected and insane ending like that in the end zone. It's just when things are supposed to go a certain way and they go an entirely different direction. You just don't see that in football games in general, and in the Super Bowl, certainly not. So that's got to be number one in my mind. I'm not sure if that was a great game start to finish, but who cares when it ends like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like the usual suspects of football games.
Right.
Amazing.
There's a couple like that in my mind that I can remember. I think it was the Rams versus the Titans. What with like Eddie George like going down and making it to like the 1 yard line at the very end.
Yeah.
Like that was like a really
Getting
close
tackled
one.
right at the
Yeah, like right
at
at
end
the
zone.
like half yard line.
with no time
with
left
no
on the
time.
clock. Yeah.
And I always loved Eddie George. I thought he was a great running back. Steve, they had a really good team. Steve McNair, Javon Curse, all those guys. I enjoyed the Titans for that little time period that they were good. But I would say
one thing about that, and this is weird. I don't know why, but whenever anyone talks about that game to me, I always go to Helen Hunt telling Tom Hanks what happened in that game in Castaway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think about the game
Yeah.
or what happened. I think about Helen Hunt telling Tom Hanks what happened, and I feel so sorry for Helen Hunt. And it's like I don't know. I mean, it means nothing, but I just had to throw that. Whenever
that's a
anyone
good-
talks about that game, I go to Castaway.
that's hilarious.
And
I didn't
maybe-
even think
yeah.
about that.
I'm a big dumb animal. I don't know.
You know,
Castaway's a good movie.
I was really
It is.
rooting for the Falcons last year, not only because they were playing the Patriots, but because last year the Falcons, they had, I think it was 5 or 6 players, coaches from the Chester County area playing in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, they had Matt Ryan, who was from Exton, Keith Carter, who was a former Downingtown Whippet, and a few other players who had ties to the Chester County area.
Wait, Keith Carter? What was he? What
He was
did he play?
he was one of the coaches.
I graduated with him. That's weird. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, he was one of the coaches. I think he was the tight end coach, maybe.
Hmm.
And now he is the offensive line coach for them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite Super Bowl that I can remember would have to be the Colts versus the Bears. Watching Peyton Manning get his first Super Bowl was pretty amazing. Especially that game started with them kicking it straight to Devin Hester and Devin Hester taking it all the way down. First play of the game. Now, Peyton Manning has a pretty wild history in the Super Bowl just because he like that game right there, first play of the game gets run back for a touchdown, and then the first touchdown he played with the Broncos, remember against the Seahawks, they just trashed him.
Yep.
That one was tough to watch. I'll never forget that game. I went out to the bar. I lived in Florida at the time, and I was so hyped, wearing my orange purple Peyton Manning jersey out to the bar, talking all this shit, watching them get their ass raped.
Annihilated.
The whole game, it was just like, get me the fuck out of here. Get me the fuck out of here. But, I another good one was the David Tyree helmet catch, which, as we're recording right now, is the 10-year anniversary. of that.
Yeah, they were showing that to the Patriots players.
Now, question for all you guys: would that be a catch in 2018?
Absolutely, he had control of the
It
ball.
didn't touch the ball, or it didn't touch the ground, right?
No, he had control.
Right,
It doesn't matter if it's on your helmet, if it's on your shoulder pads, if it's on your leg.
right. It didn't.
He had full control of that ball.
Right, because what's his name did that last year in the game? Edelman, right? He didn't do a helmet catch, but he had like the crazy thing where it didn't touch the ground, and he somehow managed to get the shit.
So Roger Goodell actually just came out and said that is one thing he is going to visit during the offseason, is changing that no catch rule, because it's just been so much controversy this year.
But just making it cleaner.
Making it more clear, making it more precise.
But the controversy just seems to be on the fans or teams that lost those catches.
Correct.
I mean, because how do you, if you change it and make it easier, it just becomes more difficult to define. Right now, it's pretty easy. It's pretty cut and dry. Like, you can tell what's a catch and what's not a catch through the rules. If you make it easier, then it becomes this weird territory where, yeah, it was a bobble, but we're allowing a little bit of a bobble.
Right.
No, it seems every non-catch I've seen seems pretty cut and dry to me. It seems fine. But people lose their minds because it should be a catch, because their feelings say it should be a catch. Well, the rules are above that. The rules are above the feelings. The camera work right now is really good. You can catch stuff that's crazy, and
I agree with that. Yeah.
I think what it is that there's been a few games that have been left in the ref's hands to decide if that was a catch or not a catch. And the rule is so crazy that fans and players, don't even know if it is a catch or if it isn't a catch. It's basically left in the hands of the refs, and there have been too many games that have been decided because of that.
One thing I can say about this year, I feel, is that they've been consistent. Like, when I see stuff happen, like I see a crazy catch and then they do the replay and they show like the little bobble or something like that. I've actually said out loud, that hasn't been a catch all year. That hasn't been a catch all year.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they say it's not a catch. So, I feel like this year has been kind of consistent with that. However, I've seen some really dumb things this year, like them measuring a first down with an index card.
That was bullshit.
I've seen some weird things this year.
That's going to be the ref for the Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. The index card guy.
What did they do?
So they ran the ball or something. I think it was the Cowboys, right?
It was the Cowboys game.
So they ran the ball and they get it down, and it's really close to the first down. So they bring the sticks out, they measure it, and it wasn't there. So this guy folded an index card and he stuck it in between the ball and the flag, right? And I guess it touched or something. So he used the card or whatever to make sure that it was right there, and they gave him the first down. It just looked really shady because they don't usually show that shit on TV. I don't know how often they have to resort to using an index card to measure these things, but they don't show it on TV if it does happen.
That was a fourth down play, and
was a big one.
And that decided that game.
Yeah.
But I mean, the actual replays from the amazing cameras that they have now in the NFL shows that card was folded, and it should have been a first down, or it shouldn't have been a first down.
Yeah.
But he awarded them the first down.
Also, do you have a favorite? I know we might have already covered this, but do you have a favorite like Super Bowl memory, like a Super Bowl play or halftime show?
Yes, absolutely.
Kev,
2004. Patriots were playing the Panthers.
2004, they were playing the Eagles.
Well, 2004 was the season. 2004 Super Bowl was the Panthers-Patriots.
Patriots.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Janet Jackson's titty popping out.
Wow.
Loved it. Loved it.
You're going to go there?
Wait. No, here's the thing about that, though. I got a story on that.
Nipplegate.
So, I was way early on TiVos. I had a TiVo back then, and you couldn't, people heard about it. I was in college at the time. The next day, everyone was talking about this, but there was no YouTube. You couldn't go online and look this thing up. I went in, I had a communications class. The next day, I'm like, I raised my hand, and I'm like, I saw it, and it's recorded on my TV right now. People were coming over to my house to watch this on my TiVo. I had it.
That's incredible.
It was really
Do you
weird.
still have it?
That's the thing. Because I was a lazy college student, I let it things erase after 2 weeks, and I kept meaning to press the save until I delete button, but that was a bridge too far for 20-year-old Kevin Reevey.
Well, now that we're talking about that in particular, is it crazy to you guys that they banned Janet Jackson for life, but Justin Timberlake is on the halftime show this year?
Did they ban her for life?
Well, as far as I know,
Because
they
there
did.
was a lot of people saying that she might be coming back this year with him, and she just
that would be
released-
awesome if they
Well,
did.
she just released
She
about
did.
an hour ago that she's definitely not performing.
Oh, really?
So I don't think she was banned for life, but yeah, she just released that she is not performing with him this year.
In 2018, what she did is not a thing. She didn't get naked.
Right.
She had,
She had something there, right?
pasties there.
Yeah,
It never should have been a thing.
No, I agree.
The whole thing is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
She was not naked.
No, she wasn't naked.
But can you imagine replay the whole thing? If you're explaining to someone what happened, that wasn't alive or wasn't old enough to know back then, and say, yeah, so her and Justin Timberlake, they had a song saying, I'm gonna have you naked by the end of the song, and he rips off her jacket, and she's standing there not naked. And people got really upset.
Really
about
mad.
it, really upset about it
Really
because,
mad.
she wasn't naked. But I mean, she was almost naked, but she was not naked. She wasn't naked. What?
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
Is there an almost naked that counts as being naked? In my experience, that's not the case.
Well, talking about the halftime shows, I'd have to bring up Prince. When Prince performed,
Yes.
Prince had one of the best halftime performances that I've ever seen.
I agree.
Watching
I
the
was just
Super Bowl.
saying this today. It was amazing.
I
It was
agree.
incredible, and it was literally the best halftime show that I've seen.
I agree. That was really good.
How much did you love his penis guitar?
Yo, his penis
remember
guitar is a symbol.
Penis
okay?
guitar.
That was another thing. Not a thing. It was a thing because people pointed it out. No one noticed that live.
I just had a note passed to me from my IT guy.
Uh-oh.
CJ's in the house.
What's up, CJ?
What's up, CJ? Thoughts on Prince hologram this year? There's going to be a Prince hologram this
Is
year.
there really? Well, I mean, it is in Minnesota. It is the home of Prince.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. That's a real
Holy
thing, Craig?
shit.
Is this confirmed? I mean, we're talking.
TMZ official?
We're in the past right now. When this episode gets released, we're currently in the
There's
past.
going to be a Prince hologram.
Oh
That
my
is
god!
awesome.
All right. Well, if it's anywhere as
But it
good
already
as his-
happened. We already saw it. So how
That
cool
was
that
so
Prince-
cool.
No, how
Did
cool
you
is
see
it?
the Prince hologram?
Yeah, it's
But not even that. Dude, how they were all saying it was going to be a Prince hologram, and it was actually Prince. He hasn't been dead this whole time. What? Craziest part.
Halftime show. Tom Petty did a good one too.
Yeah.
Tom Petty. And honestly, I was a fan of the Lady Gaga one last year.
Lady Gaga killed it.
I thought it was good.
When was it that she sung the national anthem? Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
She killed the national anthem.
Good.
How about that big fucking tiger that Katy Perry was riding out on? That was pretty incredible too.
Yo, don't you even come at Katy Perry. That's my girl.
I just said it was incredible.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
She tames the tigers. I don't know. That one's skipping my mind right now.
She had the dancing sharks. You remember the dancing
Oh
sharks?
yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Who else did a good one? Beyonce did a good one. People were mad about it.
Well,
but
I mean, there's
liked
a lot of controversy with hers.
it. Yeah, I don't get it, but that I liked it. Beyonce's an entertainer.
She wasn't naked either.
She wasn't naked.
Bruce Springsteen had a lame one.
He did.
But Bruce's fans are so loyal. It's ridiculous.
They talk about how good it was when it wasn't that good.
Yeah, it
He
wasn't
did
that
his
good.
knee slides, his frayed jeans.
Chili Peppers had a good one too.
Why am I not
I
remembering
think
that
I
one?
remember that.
Yeah.
That was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Well, I was just talking about this with CJ. Like, why do they have football? Kind of like a man's game. This is the Super Bowl. The gridiron, and it's like, all right, Super Bowl halftime show. Who are 14-year-old girls super into right now?
Yeah, right.
Let's get them. Like, what? Like, can I have somebody that's not like Katy Perry coming out on a magical, tiger? Like, okay,
That's why I've been calling for Metallica.
Metallica would be amazing.
That would be a
Yes,
good one.
So many things
Metallica would be
amazing.
awesome as a halftime show.
It's like they start with who are 14-year-old girls super into right now, and then if they're all unavailable, then we'll go to someone that's really old.
Justin Timberlake.
Is it true that they don't get paid for the halftime show?
Yeah.
I'm pretty because it's just plugging themselves
huge.
to the world.
Well, Justin Timberlake was a runner-up this year. They were going for Jay-Z at first, and then he turned it down. So they went with Justin Timberlake, which he just released the new album on Friday, and it's good. It's good.
It's good.
I heard on your Facebook that you said one of the songs was really bad.
Really bad.
So I went and listened to that song. That's not a song.
No, it's terrible.
It's so bad.
Supply.
That's
But
not
did you
my
listen-
genre of music, but even if it was,
Oh, it's horrible.
But did you listen to the other songs though?
What, on his album?
Yeah, like Man in the Woods.
Yeah, I listened to it.
So Allison and I sat down the other night and she's like, "Oh my god, you got to hear this song." So I listened to it and I was like, "Wow, this is really fucking retarded."
Yeah.
And then the song came on and I was like, "Man, I really like this fucking song." And she was like, "Yeah, that's the song that Taylor was talking about on Facebook that he didn't like." And I was like, "I like this one better." And my son was the same way. He was like, "Well, I really like this song too, but the other song wasn't that good."
Jackie couldn't stand it, but she was still singing it every day, just the hook, which is one word, and I couldn't fucking deal with
No,
it.
I mean,
Couldn't
the Man
fucking
in
deal
the
with
Woods
it.
song, and I was like, "Really?"
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that.
No.
There's a few songs that are good.
The robot song too, where he's dancing the robot on stage in
Oh,
front of
see,
everybody.
Filthy. I like that song a lot.
I didn't like it.
I like it. Anyway, I got a list of the Hall of Fame inductees for this year. You named a couple of them already.
Yes.
We got Bobby Beathard, Robert Brazil, Brian Dawkins, Jerry Kramer, Ray Lewis, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Brian Urlacher.
One of my favorite linebackers to watch was Brian Urlacher.
He was so good and so dominant. He always reminded me of Brock Lesnar. I
Yeah.
feel like he was just gonna go out and just DDT people, just fuck everybody
He was
up.
just such a dominance on that defense, and
Well, it's like when it was Colts Bears, it was the headline was Peyton versus
Brian Urlacher.
Urlacher.
Yeah.
Brady versus Urlacher, or whoever versus Urlacher. Same thing with Ray Lewis. It was always that, because when most teams you think quarterback, it's like the face of the team, but a lot, some of these teams like the Ravens, the Bears, so those years, they had really good defenses, and that's T.O. though was crazy. I always enjoyed watching T.O. Even though he's a complete nutcase.
Yeah, he went off the loony bin a few times, doing the sit-ups out front of his house when he was, not practicing with the team.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. If you do say what T.O. did over the course of his career that really riled up some people, it wasn't that bad. Like the Sharpie thing, the sit-up thing.
Yeah.
If you add it all up, who died? Who
Right.
was negatively affected by his antics? You could say the team. He wasn't a team player, but
Yeah, there was a lot of poison in the locker room with him, though.
but generally his teams fared well. I think right now, if you look back, hindsight is 2020. Who was right in the argument between McNabb and T.O.? Because
T.O.
McNabb seems pretty weird right now.
Yeah.
He seems like the guy that was the cause of all this trouble. And, T.O. said as much, but how much can you take his word for it? But right now, McNabb, our love affair with McNabb is just fraying by the year. And especially, with, his legal troubles right now notwithstanding.
Yeah.
We're more, Team TO than ever. And I think if you roll that back to 2005, 2006, where things started to go awry, it kind of makes sense. Maybe we were on the wrong side.
I think you're right. And I'm praying that Carson Wentz just comes out and becomes the franchise best quarterback ever, because I'm sick of McNabb. I didn't like McNabb when he played. I thought he was overrated. The first few years he was in, you see him running everywhere. I was excited about that. I thought he was really good early on, but he just couldn't get it together in big games. I hated watching him throw it in the dirt and just laugh about it afterwards.
That smile.
And just patting his chest like,
God.
yeah, it's my bad. Yeah, you suck, dude. Like you're mediocre at best. I know he's got all these franchise records, whatever, but what we saw Carson Wentz do this year in 3 games less than everybody else was absolutely mind-blowing. And if he can come back and protect himself and stay healthy for the rest of his career, there's no doubt in my mind that, A, he's going to be the best franchise quarterback ever for Philadelphia. And he's going to take us back to the Super Bowl and win it 2 to 3 more times in the next 5 years.
I agree completely.
The team that they have built around him as that franchise quarterback is just absolutely incredible. And I mean, Doug P, Howie, they've really outdone themselves as far as cultivating talent, bringing it in there. And now you look at Philadelphia almost as a free agent magnet. You look at Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Like after one of his touchdown passes last week, I saw some hype video. It was like them mic'd up or whatever, and they got him on the sideline. And he's like, this is why I came here. This is why I came here right now.
Well, how about Chris Long?
Chris Long is another one.
Chris
Absolutely.
Long, after playing with the Patriots, after winning the Super Bowl, he went to Bill Belichick and he said, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste mine. I want to go out and test free agency. And the first thing he did was he contacted Connor Barwin and he said, hey, what's it like playing for the Eagles?
Right.
That seems like a team I want to play for. And he said, without a doubt, go for it. So he started making phone calls on his own to come to the Eagles. He sought us out. But one of the things that really turned me off about Donovan McNabb was when Carson Wentz finally came here. And he told him, he was like, once you start screwing up, these fans are going to get all over you. They're going to turn on you. And it's almost like he's being a sore loser.
Absolutely. He's been on interviews talking about how great Dak Prescott is and how mediocre Carson Wentz is. And it's just absolutely ridiculous.
Talking about, hey, once you start failing, they're going to jump all over you. And they really aren't that good of a fan base. You know what, Donovan? Fuck you.
Yeah. No, he sucks. And he just goes and texts chicks if they squirt. It's weird.
What?
That's what he's in
That's
trouble
the whole
for.
legal
That's
thing.
what he's in trouble for. He hit up like some girl that worked at the NFL Network. I think she was like a makeup person, right? A bunch of people are in trouble for trying to mess with this girl, and he was just like talking about really terrible things.
Oh man.
Just text her like, you look like somebody would squirt or something like that. Straight up. That's what he was talking about. He's a weirdo, dude.
How
A
do you
weirdo.
just say that to some chick?
He's a fucking weirdo.
To be fair, she had that face. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, no, I don't know.
What do you
know.
guys think is going to happen with Nick Foles after this? One way or the other, win or lose. What do you think is going to happen to Nick Foles?
So they did an interview with Nick, and they asked him, and they said, if you do win this Super Bowl for the Eagles, when you come back next year, you will be a backup. And he said, you know what? That's my job, and I'm 100% okay with that. That's that's what he was brought in for.
Yeah.
He was contemplating retirement when he was playing for the Rams. He then went and played for Andy Reid with the Chiefs, and he got that love for the game back again.
Right.
And then he came over to the Eagles, and he understands that he is not a starter.
But do you think that he should start somewhere?
How long did the Eagles have him locked down for?
Good question. I'm not sure.
Because money talks.
I think just next
2
year.
years. 2 years. I think.
Dude, money talks. I mean, if he can get a good enough salary, he's going to go play somewhere
There's
else.
teams
But
that need
yeah,
quarterback.
he can't move next season. So next season he's locked in. But if you think about it, like, legends grow. If you look at Jimmy Garoppolo, when he got traded, it wasn't his play that made his trade value go up. He was on the bench. When he did play, he played well.
Right.
If Foles wins a Super Bowl with the Eagles, he could sit all of next year. People won't forget that.
Yeah.
And
And he'll still be a Super Bowl quarterback.
And age is not a factor. I think he's maybe 28, 29. I mean, it's not when you trade for Peyton Manning and you go to a Super Bowl and lose one with the Broncos. 2 years later, you go back and win one. Time is on your side. Right now, Tom Brady is skewing everybody's idea of how old the quarterback has to be to still function in the NFL.
Right.
So 2 years from now, assuming Foles plays well in the Super Bowl, win or lose, his value is going to be very high. And it's only going to get higher, in my opinion, if he sits. If I'm his agent, I would advise him, absolutely be a backup. And pray to God that you don't play next season.
Yeah.
Because the season after, everyone's going to assume that you're this Super Bowl winning quarterback. You're this great talent that's just waiting to be unleashed. And there's not a whole lot of that going around. There's not a whole lot of, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks that have 5 to 6 years left to play, just on the market. So I think it would be great for him to back up next year.
Yeah, on January 20th, he just turned 29, so he still has plenty of good years left in him. And if he does win us that Super Bowl, he will be a hot commodity when he is ready to hit the market.
Raise his stock for sure.
Absolutely.
Because it's a quarterback-driven league, and there's only a handful of good ones. I mean, realistically anymore. I mean, some people would say like Jameis Winston's a good one. Like I think he's, coming up, but I'm anxious to see like what Deshaun Watson's going to do.
I think he was going to break a lot of records this year if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I think
He
him
was
and Wentz are going to be
crazy
competing
good.
against each other for MVPs for the next
Yeah.
couple years. I mean, you think about it, we're either at the end or close to the end of the Patriots. Finally.
I think this is the end because if you look at all the previous Patriots team that have gone to the Super Bowl, out of 8 teams that have Tom Brady's taken to the Super Bowl, this is the least talented team that he's taken it.
I agree completely.
And you look
and
at
all the coaches are gone next year.
Patricia.
Yeah,
He's gone next year.
he's gone. What's his name there? Offensive coordinator's gone.
I think this is the end,
McDaniels.
and what better way for it to end than the Eagles knock him out of the top spot?
Yeah, I agree. Passing of the torch. Because I think that the Eagles are lined up. I think that the Eagles are lined up to be this good for a long time.
Without a doubt.
And that's the kind of foundation that you need in this league to be the next, Patriots, if you will. I mean, Belichick's one of the greatest coaches ever, arguably the best. All this cheating shit aside, and Brady, Brady's one of the best, if not the best ever as well, as much as I hate saying that shit. I can't doubt it. I can't argue with it. The guy's he's a winning machine. Peyton Manning's my all-time favorite quarterback of all time as of right now. But I got to give it to Tom Brady. The guy just wins.
Keeps
He's
getting
40
better
years
with
old, and he
age.
just gets better.
It's weird.
This is his second MVP in a row.
Third.
Is
It's his third MVP.
third
total.
MVP overall, yeah. So he's got 2 more to catch up with Peyton. And then I'll definitely say he's the greatest ever.
But I don't think he's going to get those two.
He's not going to. He
Do
can't.
you guys see that video that was released today of him kissing his son?
No.
It bothers the shit out of me.
What, did he
Open mouth kissed his son for like 5 to 6 seconds.
What?
Yo, it is fucking weird.
God, I hope they
So
lose the Super Bowl.
he's laying on a massage table in his house, and his son walks out and says, "Hey, Dad, can I check my fantasy stats?" And he looks at him and he goes, "Well, what's in it for me?" So the kid, like, without even missing a beat, walks up to him and gives him a kiss on the lips. And he walks away, and Tom was like, well, that was just a peck.
No
So
way. That did not happen.
I swear to God, I'll show you the video when we go on break. So his son turns around, walks over, leans over, and open mouth kisses him for like 6 seconds. I showed this video to my wife, dude, and we just sat there just completely disgusted. Look, I got 3 kids. I love my kids. I'll give my kids kisses. But that was a little far. That was a little much.
You
Super
guys,
weird.
I'm just like totally cringed. My whole body's just like disgusted.
I'll pull up the video and show you guys when we take a break.
CJ wants to know, should Wentz have gotten the MVP since he had better stats than Brady in fewer games?
Well, if you listen to our podcast, you would know my answer already.
I 100% think yes. I 100% think that Wentz should have been the MVP. But the reason that I would have given it to Brady is that arguably, all right, this is the way I think about MVP awards, especially when you throw injuries in the mix. I almost would have given it to Aaron Rodgers this year, simply because his team was complete shit after he got hurt. See, an MVP to me makes the team better all the way around. It gives your team that confidence to win. It makes everybody better, right? But if they get hurt, you automatically notice that difference. See, Carson Wentz was absolutely 100%, in my opinion. You guys are watching the video of Tom Brady kissing his kid.
I'm showing him the video of Tom Brady kissing his kid.
I think that Carson Wentz 100% was playing at an MVP caliber this year, but when he got hurt, the team barely suffered. Right? We're
Yeah,
in the Super Bowl.
absolutely.
Like, I mean, Nick Foles came in and did his job. Everybody else, the surrounding cast was there. That doesn't mean that I don't think that that Carson should have got it. We saw that he came in third place. I definitely think he should have been a close second to Tom Brady.
But here's the thing. So if you counter the argument and say if Brady would have been hurt in, let's say, like week 8,
Mhm.
their team would have been fine because they would have had Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
And
Well, they did that.
probably-
What was it, last year when he got suspended the 4 games for the Deflategate?
Yeah, and he still got it.
Well, they won those first 4 games because of Bill Belichick and Jimmy Garoppolo.
So it becomes an argument. So is Jimmy Garoppolo the MVP? No, it's pretty simple. Carson Wentz set his team up
Yeah.
in an enviable position where they could kind of cruise. They had to win some games after that, but they were pretty much well set up to win.
Well, they had to
division.
win games to get the home
Yeah.
field advantage. So, they were
They
already
had- I
playoff
think-
bound.
Didn't they already have the playoffs clinched?
Yeah, they were
when he
already
got
playoff bound. They just needed to win to clinch home field advantage and the first round bye.
Right. Because
And
Minnesota
they
was
did.
right on their ass. And
Yeah.
they did. I mean, he did. He had a bunch more touchdowns than anybody, right? What he had, like 33 or something was his
I
final
think
total?
Russell Wilson ended up
Russell Wilson had
eclipsing him.
34, Wentz had 33, and Tom Brady had 32.
in
now,
3 less games, though.
Deshaun Watson was on pace for 40.
Yeah, he was, because he was just racking them
He
up.
was-
That was early.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would entertain. I just don't see it with Brady. I would entertain other players besides Brady. I've always thought about this as Wentz versus Brady for MVP. Maybe there's someone else that could enter that picture to change my mind. But if it's just
Todd Gurley.
purely,
Yeah,
that's at least a fair argument.
right.
If it's Wentz versus Brady, I don't see it because the Patriots were in the same position. If Brady went down, they'd be fine. And even post-trade of Garoppolo,
right.
they'd be
They
fine.
would've
They'd
been all right.
still win out for the most part. It would still be in the same position.
After they got rid of Jimmy, I don't think they would have been. I mean, who was their backup? Brian Hoyer?
They probably don't
Yeah.
win that Steelers game.
Yeah.
And that changes.
And they
the
don't
factor
win.
of
They
who
don't win the
gets
Jaguars game either.
the first seed or not.
I don't think they'd win the Jaguars either.
But that's the playoffs. If we're talking the MVP of
Yeah, the regular season.
well,
Now,
that's
do
a
you guys
different
think?
story.
Do you guys think that they should just change the MVP to the quarterback of the league or
No.
of the year?
no.
Because that's essentially who it is. I mean, I don't remember the last time they gave it to somebody else besides a quarterback. I don't remember
That's
the
a
last
good
time.
trivia question. Now I'm wondering.
Because like you would think that like Ray Lewis would get it one year, or like or even Brian Urlacher or somebody, but
It's never a defensive player.
it's
that's
never a
right,
defensive player, or like a running. I don't remember the last time a running back got it. Maybe like a LaDainian Tomlinson got it one year or something, but I don't remember the last time a running back or a wide receiver got it. I mean, I feel like it's been a quarterback every year. I mean, Peyton got 5 of them in his however many year career that he got it, which is the
Jerry
most ever.
Rice had one.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure he had at least one, but I don't know. That's a crazy thing.
Did Emmitt Smith get one? At any point?
Danny's frantically
Yeah,
searching on his
yeah,
phone.
That's a
I'm
great
looking real
trivia
quick.
question, actually.
Because I mean, or at least make it a category so that maybe more players would be able to get in. You put a quarterback award on there, so maybe that somebody else could get it.
So we have for the 2017 season, it was Tom Brady. After that, it was Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. Then before that, for the 2012 season, it was running back Adrian Peterson.
Okay.
Then it went quarterback. 2006 season, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Okay.
2005 season, Sean Alexander. Quarterback. 2000 season, Marshall Faulk. 1998 season, Terrell Davis. Wow. 97, they gave out 2. To quarterback Brett Favre and running back Barry Sanders.
Huh.
I didn't know that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So see what I mean, though? A lot of quarterbacks.
Here we go. 1986, Lawrence Taylor.
Hmm.
Defensive guy. There you go.
But to your point, it takes an historic season. Like Sean Alexander, I think he rushed for 2,000 yards that season or close to it. And Marshall, it's either two things. One, the running back has to have an historic season, or 2, the quarterback is either garbage or perceived to not be as good as he is. So in 2000 with Marshall Faulk, you weren't really sure what you had yet with Kurt Warner. Is he as
Right.
great as he
Yeah,
is?
it's true, yeah.
Marshall Faulk was a known quantity.
And
he
Kurt
was great.
Warner won it the year after.
Yeah.
In 2001 season.
So like when we were kids, I remember Barry Sanders just being a spectacle. I mean, the highlight tapes of him are just insane. But Adrian Peterson, there's 3 players that really stick out to me as just game-changing players that weren't quarterbacks, and that's Adrian Peterson, Randy Moss, and LaDainian Tomlinson. I feel like that those 3 players as playmakers made a huge impact on me personally, just because at that time I could actually understand what was going on. I knew more about football then than I did when I watched Barry Sanders play. And I remember Barry Sanders like just juking people and just making everybody miss. But these guys were just different types of players. I mean, when Randy Moss made his one-handed catches, and that became a thing, and everybody just thought that was the craziest thing that anybody's ever seen. That was wild. That year that LT won, he was just a monster. And Adrian Peterson has been incredible his entire career. I mean, those guys were just, it doesn't matter who you root for. There's players that transcend the game that are just fun to watch. Marshall Faulk was another one of those. I never got into Kurt Warner, but I always liked Marshall Faulk.
How about 1982 when Mark Mosley, place kicker, MVP?
What?
Yo, that would fucking blow minds these days.
What?
Yeah.
What did he
How
do?
was that?
I don't know.
I mean, there were players back in the day that played defense. They were place kickers. There were players that played every position. The kicker, they played kicker, defense, offense. But 82 is a little late for that.
He won the most valuable player during the strike-shortened 1982 season. He's the only special teams player and the only place kicker to win the NFL MVP award.
It's weird.
Well, real quick before we take a break here, we're going to come back and do What's the Point really quick and our late review of a very strange Coldplay album. What are your predictions for the game? I know that we're in the past and all that stuff, but I think it'll be fun to listen back and see what's going on. I'll go first. I'm going 31-21 Eagles.
I think the defense is going to win this game for the Eagles. They have the defense to take Tom Brady out of his element. It's the same, when the Giants won. They had the defense to shut him down to win the game. They have the offensive weapons to win the game. I'm going Eagles 28, Patriots 17.
Okay, I'm up. Well, I mean, since the game's already happened, I can't believe it was a blowout like it was. 38-3, unreal.
Wow.
Eagles win it.
Is that your real pick? That's your prediction? I don't disagree with it. I think that would be highly entertaining.
Prediction? I don't know what you mean. It was. I just watched the SportsCenter highlights this morning. It was awesome. Specifically, I just want to say, first off, I hope, I don't know how, but I hope Brady comes back from that horrific. I had to turn away. There were kids in the room, and I just, it was, they'll be scarred for life. The way the bone, I didn't know that area had a bone. It just came out. And
if what you say is true, then 38-3 is totally correct. It would be totally correct.
I hope he comes back, and I mean, at least for his pride, he comes back next
Who's the
season.
player that takes him out?
Fletcher Cox. Did you see the play? It was amazing.
I thought it was a mix between him and Chris Long.
Well, Chris Long came in there with a haymaker, and well, first of all, yes. It was a penalty, and of course, there's all kind of like controversy. Like, should he have punched Brady square in the face while his helmet was ejected by Fletcher Cox? No, he should not have. But still, that being said, it was a legal hit in my mind.
A legal haymaker?
Well, I mean, we took the 15-yard penalty. It's fine. So.
I'll pay his fine for him. I mean, if that's the deal, I'll pay his fine.
No, I don't. All right, so for realsies, I think what I've been saying this whole 2 weeks is flat out, we have the better team. The Eagles are the better team.
Yeah.
And we're going up against a 40-year-old quarterback. And it's not like this is unknown territory. You go 2 years ago. Was it 2 years? Yeah, 2 years ago. The better quarterback lost the Super Bowl. Before that, I'm going to say 2 years before that, the better quarterback lost the Super Bowl. And that would have been, so 2 years ago was Cam Newton. 2 years prior to that was Russell Wilson. He beat, it was Peyton Manning. So Peyton Manning had thrown, 55 touchdowns that season?
Yeah, that was like his record season. Yeah, yep.
He lost. I mean, it's not because the better team won. No
Agreed.
offense.
Agreed.
But the better team won in both scenarios.
The better defense as well.
Peyton Manning was horrific 2 seasons ago.
Yeah. It's bad.
And they won in a rout.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to go that way, I don't think, this particular game. But I do think the best team tends to win. If you can say both teams are relatively even on most parts of the game, both sides of the game, maybe the quarterback makes the difference in that case when they're both great teams. But Foles has been playing lights out. Tom Brady is 40 years old. I think those two things even themselves out. And it comes down to team.
And how about Sammy Sleeves beating him, 2 years ago in the regular season?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he's beatable. He's very
Yeah.
beatable. And like I said earlier, out of all the teams that he's taken to the Super Bowl, this is the least talented. If you set up the two rosters, like Kevin was saying, the Eagles are more talented. If you set up the two rosters next to each other, I think they have 4 positions where they have a better player. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I'll go 28-17.
28-17. Eagles?
Eagles.
All right. Co-host Kev, do you know how football scores work?
Yes, I do, but I am not educated enough to make a valid guess.
Give me random numbers.
31-14.
31-14.
That's a good
Yeah.
guess.
Who?
Eagles,
Eagles?
obviously.
Okay. I have them all written down. The winner gets a cookie.
2 2-point conversions, a field goal, and a touchdown. I agree.
Do you?
That's how they're going to do it.
Does
old
anybody
Patriots
know
way.
Does anybody know the spread?
No.
No?
Not off the top of my head now.
I think it's gone down
was at
because
like 5.
it started out at 6, and then that one guy went and he bet $5 million, brought it down to 5.5.
$5 million bet.
No, $10 million. And then 4 people today showed up in Vegas and bet $1 million or greater on the Eagles. So I think it has gone down.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I know it's gone down.
When you asked that question, though, I immediately thought, like, what's the spread going to be at my sister's house tomorrow when she's talked about, some wings, pizza. I'm wondering, like, nachos? She makes great nachos.
I'm having the same exact thing that I had for the NFC Championship game. That was a frozen pizza.
Nice.
I have to.
Nice.
Drinking out of my same silver cup with my 7 and 7.
The Juju.
The Juju.
Kevin Reevy, thank you so much for being on the show this week with us.
That was
what's your-
offensive, by the way. He said Jew twice.
Sorry.
Twice as offensive.
I thought it was 3 times.
But it's not Juju. It's Juju.
It's one word. Juju.
Juju.
My mistake.
Kevin, what's your Twitter handle?
76-pack. And for the record, I've been drinking 6-pack the entire time, and I'm a little bit drunk.
Awesome. We also have some Capri Suns as well. Got them the Tropical Blast, or whatever it's called. I think it's just tropical fruit, right?
Well,
How is it? Because I'm about to
I
crack
requested
one
Tropical Blast,
open. Yeah.
which I'm not entirely sure is an actual flavor, but I got
No,
tropical
it's
fruit.
Pacific Cooler.
I got Pacific Cooler and tropical.
I got tropical fruit.
I want to try it after the break. But thank you for being on our show this week and talking some football with us. Check out his books, Incredible Baseball Stats and This Day in Philadelphia Sports. You can look for them online and find them. Again, thanks for being on the show. We'll be right back. More Might Be News after this little break.
Unless you want me to drop it.
All right, welcome back to Might Be News. Special shout out to Kevin Reevy for being here this week and CJ. We're back. We're going to just speed through this. We're not even going to do intros here. What's the point? My point for this week, I just saw this morning, Best Buy is going to stop selling CDs this year.
Oh, snap.
I think that's kind of crazy because now there's nowhere else to buy CDs. Next.
My point. I watched last night on PBS Nas do the full Illmatic album in front of an orchestra.
Yeah.
Really?
An orchestra covered the music and the beat while Nas rapped The whole Illmatic album.
I saw some of it on the
Dude,
internet.
it was incredible. It was incredible.
I saw some of it on the internet. It was fantastic. Danny, what do you got?
My point is about this Larry Nassar. Is that how you say his name?
Nasser?
Nasser, the team doctor for the U.S. gymnastics team.
Yeah.
He was sentenced to prison for the rest of his life for molesting these girls. Well, in the courtroom, the one dad stood up, and the judge said, is there anything you want to add? And he said, can we add to his sentence me getting locked in a room for 5 minutes with him? And the judge joked around and said, no, we can't do that. And in all sincerity, he goes, 1 minute. That's all I need. 1 minute alone in a room with this guy. The judge said no, and he goes, all right, I'll take matters in my own hands. And he charged after the doctor.
Yeah, I saw this
And
video.
I kind of wish that the cops just would have been like, we're just going to wait a few seconds and let him get a few hits in. But they aren't going to press charges against him, which I think is right.
Yeah.
Against the dad.
Yeah.
He's emotionally distraught.
Yeah. I mean, he's been through a lot with his daughters. And I think he needed to get a few blows in, and I completely agree with him, and I would have done the same.
Yeah.
So good for the dad for taking matters into his own hands.
Late review this week. Danny, what did you pick this week?
I picked Coldplay. I forget the name of the album.
It's something really weird.
Yeah, I can't even pronounce it.
Milo Zloto?
Something like that.
Milo Solto.
Yeah.
Solto.
Came
out in 2011.
Yeah, that was my pick this week. I'm a huge Coldplay fan. I went and saw them. I believe it was last year when they were in Citizen Bank Park. No, they played at Lincoln Financial Field. Just one of my favorite bands. One of my favorite songs on that album is Paradise. Every Teardrop's a Waterfall, Prince of China that they did with Rihanna. I just think it's a great album. Great band. Some of their older stuff was a little bit better than this newer stuff that's a little bit poppy. But all in all, they're just such a well-rounded band. And I give this album a solid 7.9.
Kev.
The Coldplay album, what did you say it was called again?
Milo Zloto.
That album is as bad as the name.
Wow.
That shit
course.
sucked.
Of course. Did you listen to it?
Yes, I listened to it
Shit
while
sucked.
I was at work. I was listening to it while I was typing up orders at work, and it was terrible.
You didn't like a single song?
No, not any of it. Not any of it. It sucked.
Wow. I know how you feel now.
You give it a 0, dude? What do you give it?
I mean, they are a band that people enjoy, not me.
They play instruments.
I know how you feel.
I'll give them like a 1.5.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Kev hit me up like halfway through the week, like, dude, I can't with this Coldplay shit. I can't do it.
That's what I get for giving the Beatles the bad rating that I did.
Oh my god.
All right.
I wanted to, dude, in all honesty, Dan, I wanted to say, I'm just not into Coldplay, so I didn't listen to it, but I did give it a fair shot. I might as well have not listened to it.
All right.
I liked a couple songs on here a lot. Paradise, Every Teardrop is a Waterfall in particular were my favorites, and those are the ones I guess that were on the radio as well. I give it a 6. It was okay. The more I listen to it, the more I really appreciate their first 2 albums, Parachutes and A Rush of Blood to the Head. I like Coldplay. I'm just not a big poppy Coldplay fan. That's my opinion. It was good.
They were great live.
Oh, I bet they're really
that
good
concert was incredible.
live. I bet they're really good live.
Incredible.
Yeah. They're good musicians. This is just it's a little too poppy for me, but I mean that doesn't necessarily make it a bad album. It's just not my thing. As far as Coldplay goes.
What do you rate it?
6.
6.
Yeah, I give it a 6. It's a mediocre 6.
Prince of China with Rihanna was awesome.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. So next week we're gonna do 3. We're gonna go back to doing 3 late reviews. Each one of us is gonna pick something. individually. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
We did it week 1 of this season. I liked it. I think it gives a broader stroke of, it lets us listen to what we want to listen to, and it lets us talk about what we want to listen to.
Do you know who you're doing next week?
I probably have the next 3 weeks figured out already.
I'm going old school.
Are you?
Creedence Clearwater.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Kev, do you
No
do you know?
clue.
You don't know?
No clue.
I will probably do, I don't know. You know what? I'll probably do Sir. Guy, he just dropped an album last couple weeks ago. It's really good. I'll do it.
Sounds like I probably would never listen to
No,
it.
you'll never listen to it. You would never listen to it. Danny might like it, but you definitely not. Definitely not. So this has been our Super Bowl spectacular. Hopefully the Eagles win, and this show is fun to listen to. If they lose, you probably won't want to listen to this episode.
Yeah, I'm all excited right now. I mean, I'm legit like.
Are you
nervous.
excited or I was gonna say, are you excited or nervous?
I feel like I'm back in high school playing football again, and those nerves that you get that Friday for the Friday Night Lights game, I have those nerves.
Yeah.
I have I can't sit still. I said something to my wife today. I said I wish I could just go to sleep for 24 hours and wake up to the start of the game. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm happy, and I'm ready. I'm so ready for this game.
Right now
So ready.
it's 10:35 the Saturday before the Super Bowl. And I've been thinking about it for the past couple hours. I think I'm going to try and stay up as late as I can tonight so that I can sleep as much of the day tomorrow as I can.
Today was the longest day of my life.
Seriously, from the time I wake up tomorrow to 6:40 is going to feel like 4 days.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just going to try and stay up as late as I possibly can tonight and sleep as much as I can tomorrow so that I can wake up in time for the game.
Now, we talked about it last week. Are you doing anything special for the game?
No, I'm not. I have turned down every invitation that I've gotten this week in hopes that I can make the juju as good as I possibly can.
That's what I'm doing.
I already have a commemorative Eagles Super Bowl sweatshirt, so I don't forget these times. But I won't be wearing this tomorrow because I have not worn this for an Eagles game. So,
yeah,
I'm very, very much not doing a damn thing tomorrow, except for just hanging out.
That's what I'm doing.
Waiting.
I'm doing the same thing I did for the NFC Championship game, sitting down in my living room with my silver cup of 7-7. I'm making a frozen pizza.
Yep. And
I'm just going to do everything that I've done, the same that I've done all season.
That is probably exactly what I'm going to do to a T. Frozen pizza and all.
I put bacon bits on mine.
Oh yeah,
real bacon bits.
See, I just throw the cheese pizza in there. That's all I do. Pretty low maintenance.
I'm going over to my sister's house for a Super Bowl party.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm so excited for a Chick-fil-A nugget tray on a Sunday.
Wow.
Oh,
how do you get a Chick-fil-A nugget tray on Sunday?
You pick it up on Saturday.
Is it still the same?
Yeah, it's still the same. It's gonna be delicious.
Fuck a chicken nugget tray up from Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
I wish they made the chicken strip tray.
Yeah, there you go. That would be delicious.
I wish they made a tray of those little chicken biscuit things they do.
Yeah,
for
a
breakfast.
tray of
I've never
chicken
had
sandwiches.
that.
Really,
Are they
dude?
good?
Dude, they're so good.
It'll change your life.
They drizzle honey on it.
Oh my
Really?
god, dude,
Oh.
so fucking good.
The
So fucking-
breakfast little biscuit
Yeah,
with the Chick-fil-A.
yeah, a little, yeah.
It's a
Unbelievable.
nugget inside of a biscuit.
Yeah,
and they drizzle honey on it.
and the whole shit just
Yeah.
melts in your mouth. It's that good.
Huh.
Oh, it's incredible. Go to breakfast sometime at Chick-fil-A.
You never thought about chicken for breakfast, but
Enough of that. They don't pay us. Great show this week, guys. Appreciate it as always. And again, special shout out to Kevin Reevy. Check out his books, Incredible Baseball Stats in This Day in Philadelphia Sports. Really good stuff. Thanks again to CJ Schumart, our IT guy, technical support, and guest getter. He's great at what he does. Kev, say peace out.
nugget trays and Polynesian sauce.
Peace out, Danny.
Peace out, guys. I hope we're in a good mood next week when we record.
Yeah, me too.
Go
be fun.
Eagles.
Go
Fly,
Eagles.
Fly.
Win or lose, it's been an amazing season. Hopefully, like Danny said, we'll be in a good mood next week. Follow us on Twitter at Might Be News 24/7. That's Might Be News 247. Listen, subscribe, share, SoundCloud, iTunes, all that good stuff. As always, I'm Taylor Cooper. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.